Rising, Grand Rising. Sirena Barefoot Gypsy. How is everyone today? God, I feel much better now that I'm recording. It's gloomy out, isn't it? Interesting how when the sun's out, you feel so great, and alive, and then when it's overcast like it is here now, it just kind of so there's a life hack that I just read for this weekend, and it was saying if you're at a party and there's a song or something you want to hear better, they said lean in with your left ear because it picks up musical notes better. So that's great for Sound Saturday. I was going to do all the different chakra sounds and different sounds you can make and stuff like that. I'm going to be working on my car here, so I don't know if I'll have time to do that. I heard nature sounds. I think the best thing to do, and I was getting this before I went into the house to change my clothes into my workout garb. Not my workout, my working on my car outfit. Get all greasy and whatnot. But the different sounds that you can make, what makes you feel good when you're humming a tune and it raises your vibration, do that. I feel like God, the Most High, Father, Source, Energy, is steering me more towards the unconventional, came to mind. And doing what works for you, what makes you feel good. Humming a little tune, sound, singing, dancing, getting the energy flowing. I've done let's do our thymus. Namaste. And I'm setting the intention for any time, anyone, anywhere you see this message, that it sends you loving, healing energy. I know this has nothing to do with sound, but I heard throw love at it. When something comes up in your mind or pops in your head, and it has to do with like anything that makes you feel that anything that's not love, on the love vibration or the gratitude vibration, thank you, well, that's the love vibration anyway. So anything that's not on the love frequency, the love vibration, and that pops in your head or comes up, or feelings or whatever you get, throw love at it. Just, I'm sorry you're hurting so bad. If it's a person, I'm sorry you're hurting so bad and you feel this way about me. I'm sending you lots of light and love. I love you even though you hurt me. It's amazing what you put out to somebody else. You're also telling God, universe, energy, vibration, whatever, that's what you want in return. So that's why it's so important about the whole be what you want first. These hummingbirds are so great. So they've been flying around, fighting each other. Not fighting, but zipping by my head, scaring the crap out of me. So yeah, do the love. Spread the love. So that was a little side note. So, there was something I did years and years and years ago. It's probably been, I don't know, 8 years or more now. Satanama. I think. Satanama. Manatasa. Satanama. There's something to do with that. Look that up. Along hand mudras, right? Creating these boundaries, holding your hands up like this and hi, pretty baby. And they'll just perch right up there on that metal thing to watch out. Now it's crazy because I love this hummingbird feeder, but it doesn't go in very long. So it's like I'm gonna have to pour out what's in there. They said after 4 days, every 4 or 5 days, you should change it out. That seems like a total waste because there's no way they're going to be able to get all the way in there. Their little beaks are only so long. Oh, maybe they can. I don't know. It just seems like wasteful, but it's pretty. I like that one. They have beautiful ones. But, so getting on the love vibration. You know, we did our thymus to help energize and, you know, feeling the vibration out here. But let's get back to sound. And energy healing, energy work keeps popping in my head. So there's a lot of energy healers out there. And if you feel drawn to one, always listen to your inner guidance. When you go to any kind of medium, a psychic, tarot reader, intuitive message reader, anybody that pay attention to your human, because your human will give you indications. It'll give you warnings. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it. And be mindful. I want to let you know this. When you give that power to somebody else to tap into you, they could be doing all kinds of, they can see things that you don't know. They could be lie. I mean, just be very mindful of that and do your own work. I mean, this is what God keeps putting on my heart is using your discernment. Coming home within yourself and letting all these things out. Getting past your human layers, your egoic things, the programming, getting past all of those, I heard blockages or whatever, walls, I'm going to call them human layers, and getting into you. And regardless of what you read or hear or anything, use your discernment. Pray for guidance and discernment so you know the truth within yourself. This is super important. Not especially now, for always, but yes, especially now. With AI, who knows how many effed up things people are going to do with that, you know? I mean, even on YouTube here. So when you shoot a short, anyone can do voiceovers, they can mix it. I do not allow that. Because why would anyone do that anyway? Unless they wanted to share a message, then share it. If they wanted to share somebody else's message, rather than be cruel and mean. I mean, it's just, social media could be a horrible thing and it could be a great thing depending on what you use it for. Same as money, same as anything else. But you know them by their fruits. I found myself again today going through YouTube and reading titles and stuff and clicking on things and going, what am I doing? This is past stuff. This has nothing to do with my future. Yeah, I'm getting sick to my stomach, so get off of that, right? And Get outside, get barefoot, walk in the ground. I'm telling you, the way to heal yourself and come home to yourself. And if you, it's with you and God. And finding that God in you. Not God like you're God. People are so funny that they really, but it just shows their level of thinking. It shows how they won't think past what they believe or think to be their reality. That was a side note. So just using your own discernment. And we all know there's effed up things going on in the world, but what's the solution? We need solutions to things. We already know what the problem is. So like Dr. Wayne Dyer, he used to speak about his mom, and his mom was like then like in her 80s or 90s, and she's still bold and drove a car and did all this, and her friends would talk about, oh, my arthritis and oh, my this, and she's like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let that in my energy field. I'm not going to allow that into my thought and into me. So I don't want to talk about any of that because that's not me. That'll never be me, There's a lot to be said for that. It's all part of the BS, the belief system. So whatever you believe is your reality, becomes your reality, regardless of anything else in this world. What you believe is your reality and yours alone. So if you want to use sound healing and stuff, you be that, or play an instrument, even if it's just, if you have a guitar laying around and you don't know how to play, pick it up, listen to the different tones and sounds it makes by all the, see, left-handed. That's so funny. I automatically go that way. Or you could do right, of course. But a harmonica, a drum, tambourines, a flute, anything, saxophones, whatever, drums, whatever it is. Use your own voice. Different tones and sounds you can make. Whatever makes you feel good. Listen to your body. Your body gives you an indication of any effery or anything that's good around you. And if you want to feel drawn to crystals and stuff like that, then get them. Don't worry about, well, you can only use this for this. No. See, like the Reiki principles, I changed it because of what my inner standing is of how energy and things work. We do not put, I will not be angry. Why would they do that? I'm not, standing that. So just for today, I am happy. We want to use just the love side of words. Maybe you can write that down on a piece of paper. Put love on this side, not love on this side. I don't want to use the word hate, but not love on this side, positive or negative, positive, not positive. Either way, not positive and whatever, but however you want to write it, but love on one side and the frequencies that aren't love on the other, Sadness would be on the right side, or you could switch them. But breaking out of this karmic, this karmic loop of death and destruction and feeding the enemy, and finding heaven on earth for yourself. Om is good one. Om, that's a great one. That encompasses so much. Even the scales I'm getting, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, you know what I mean? Whatever. And working towards that, especially when you're outside. I keep getting hum a tune. What is that? I haven't been out walking lately, so I haven't found any feathers for a while, but yes, we're going to be working on brakes today, I believe. I think it's my caliper, but I'm pretty sure my caliper's stuck. Something's going on, but it's okay. You know what? I didn't even get upset that my car's broke down because I have grown and done so much. I don't know if it's been a week, 2 weeks since I came back to Colombia. I mean, when I was in Kansas, I wanted to die. I mean, I was going through some ego deaths and some dark night of the souls, or whatever you want to call it, so bad. I just was like, holy crap, am I ever going to, and then I woke up one day when I arose after sunrise. I was renewed, and then I just started shooting videos, and all these things came, and this confidence where I don't even have to have confidence. I have confidence, because you know what? I had to look at it like this. I'm totally going on a side note here. I had to look at it like this. Yes, and the reason why I speak about myself so much is because all I can speak for is myself. And I do this, well, anyway, so that was a side note. So you've been called, you've had these intuitive nudges, this feeling in your gut, in your soul, and these thoughts come to you, you have them written down, you're like, I don't know, do I do this, do I not? What are you afraid of? See, if you're afraid, then you're not walking in your divineness. If there's fear, that you're not walking in your divineness. Because no matter the time frame or whatever it is, if this is something you feel wholeheartedly within yourself, that God has put on your heart, that God has called you to do, that it's in your soul, I heard soul contract, that it's in your soul, that you came here for, then it's going to work out exactly how it's supposed to work out. Maybe not the way you thought, from your human, from your programming, from your whatever, but it doesn't matter, because it's going to happen. The choice is yours, or is it? I mean, I'm hearing towers will fall. I mean, you can either get the nudge, God talking to you, do that, and if you don't do it, then like getting rid of a person, place, or things, then they will be torn from you, and it's going to hurt worse. But maybe that's what you needed. I mean, whatever happens is for your highest good. I know. I've had a lot of bad things happen too. It's not that I can sit here and say these things like I read it from a book, or I'm watching other people or listening to other people. I've lived some horrific things, and most of them I didn't remember because I was way too small. But when I was going through my healing, oh yes, then you get to see it from your little baby child's eyes, looking out through your own eyes, and that's something you can't ever get rid of. You cannot unsee things, whether it's with your own eyes or in your head, in your mind's eye. So keep plugging along. Throw love at it. I'm going to share this with you, and I'm not saying ever to do this, but it has something to do with, throwing love at it. And believe me, it was God 1,000, 100,000 million%. I know that makes no sense, but whatever. That I believe I was 18. It don't matter, 18 or 19. I'm not going to tell the whole story, because it was a premeditated, pretty sought after. Anyway, I was by an LA Crips gang member. I was manipulated to go over to help his wife, his old lady that I had met from church dinners. Really nice. They had 2 kids. He's a colored man, and she was white, or she is. And so I knew her. And anyway, so I went over to help her so she can go to the hospital or whatever. So, well, I'm getting too much into it. So I get over to the house, and I walk in. He closed the door. She wasn't there. And I don't remember a lot past this, but yes, he said dreamed of and planned on doing this, that he wanted me for his own, and blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to get out. He grabbed me by the throat and was choking me, and strong. I could not. And I remember it was broad daylight, like it was in the mid-morning. And I just remember trying to scream and trying to get his hand out. Well, I ended up passing out because he was choked the fuck out of me. But I remember my thinking, God, I just want to see my son again. He was sick. I just wanted to see my son again. And my oldest son now. So I came to, I was on the bed and his hand was still on my throat. And I don't know, he was saying something. So he raped me and blah, blah, blah and all that stuff. And I don't know, somehow I just started talking to him afterwards. Like, hey, can I help you get your old lady back? And la, 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 la. He walked me halfway home. But once I got halfway mark, I just fucking started running. I didn't know what happened with him. I don't know. But I was trying to befriend him or something. I don't even know what I was saying. I did. Like I said, God took over on that. I do not know why this story had to come out. At least a little bit of it. I wasn't going to get into all the details. I can still see it as I'm talking about it. But what is that, Father? What does that have to do? Hi, pretty birdies. The hummingbird was sitting up there. I don't know. I'm sorry. That was a total side note, and I apologize for that because I don't understand. No, I don't understand why that was. Because I ended up with anger towards the end, when he was walking with me. I was saying weird shit. I wanted to freaking, I just wanted to get home to my son. I just wanted to get home. I was scared to death because I literally thought he was going to kill me. Of course, once you pass out, you don't know anything. So I could have died and I wouldn't have known. But, and I don't know where blood came from. But anyway, I don't know what that had to do with throwing love at it. But it was God. Somebody, I needed to hear that. I'm going to go because this is kind of disturbing for me. I don't know why that came out. I apologize again. I might even delete this whole video. But yeah, I'm not saying ever if somebody's doing that to ever, I don't know. But I was talking to him like, hey, yeah, what can I do? Let's help get her back for you. Because she left him, can I help? Let's help get back. And he started, it brought his whole anger and all of that demeanor down, and it softened him. And then he walked me halfway home. Then he hid. But anyway, it took him like almost a whole day to find him. In that apartment. He had never left the apartment. He was still in there. Those trundle bed, like the bed, twin bed where it lifts up and there's like storage in there. He was hiding in one of those. And the police officer said to me, because he's an LA Crips gang member, so he had a rap sheet like this. They said, you're lucky to be alive. And he'd done this many times before with young girls, 13, at gunpoint and at knife point. I mean, he has a rap sheet. Of course, they don't bring that up in court, but he's never been caught. He's never been busted for that. Because, see, they treat women like shit that get raped. That really get raped. Okay, I don't want to go on to that. Somebody must be going through this. I'm sure there is. There's tons of it in the world, and most of it gets, and it's traumatic for men and women. I think everybody I know has had an experience like that. It's sad. Anyway, and it's horrible. Yes, I went through trials. I went through 2 trials, and he got away. And I was going to kill him. But, well, no, I wasn't going to kill him. I was going to go to jail because I was going to beat him within an inch of his life. I just wanted him to suffer, but to live. I know, it's sick, and God had to heal that on me. I guess what I'm saying is not that extreme, but throwing love at it, being love. Sometimes that's what changes things. And they're bringing me to Jesus when he said, if somebody, hits your face, whatever, hits you, turn the other cheek, basically. Don't retaliate. Don't do an eye for an eye. It's love. Love breaks, I'm hearing, the barriers. Consistent. I'm not saying allow people to do all that. Of course, take yourself out of situations like that. But just throw love at things. I guess that's what that's about. Is there a love frequency? I mean, a love sound? Oh, oh, love. Doing worship at church is like the best. Listening to uplifting music. Classical music is great. And the thing about music, when they changed it to 440 hertz, that's chaos and conflict and mind control. I heard complacency like, I'm not really sure. You can look that up, please. 432 hertz. So when I tune my guitars in the 432 hertz. And that's for somebody as well. Listen to your body when you're listening to things and doing stuff. How does it react and how do you feel? I've spoken this many times. What does this have to do with sound? Sound Saturday. Everything, I guess. It just all boils back down to you and what you want to do in your life. And you're responsible for yourself. You can either have a miserable, hellish life or you can have heaven on earth. The choice is yours. You can have great relationships in your life. If people are always mean to you, why are you mean to people? If people always fuck you over, stop effing people over. If people never show up for you, do you show up for anybody? I mean, it's a direct reflection, and we can think ourselves all the time. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm going to have to stop this. Peace, love.